Focus going on my Mackenzie Calhoun mail-in action figure I got sometime in the late 90s. Calhoun is a character from Peter David's New Frontier novels, and I read quite a bit of them. I don't think I ever got to the end of them, and I don't even know if they had an ending. But they were fun to read. Peter David really can't go wrong. So this is the Playmates. Mackenzie Calhoun got his own sword. This is I think this is the only one that survived my Playmates Trek collection. I had the shuttlecraft. I had the TOS crew in the big box. I bought that in like '94, and I had the original line of TNG Playmates as well as the shuttlecraft. And I went to my local comic shop and traded them all in for store credit, and I'm sure I picked up a lot of trades in return. Do I kind of miss them? Yeah, kind of, but I bought those when I was in my late teens, so they didn't have a lot of sentimental value. I mean, they weren't my 19, they weren't the Superpowers or Secret Wars line, but they're kind of cool. Kind of miss shuttlecrafts, but what are you gonna do? Track. So I thought I had more of these old DC cards, but this is Bolt. Yeah, we're all familiar. I'm waiting for Bolt's movie to come out. This is the villain known as Bolt, and I think he started as a Firestorm villain, and then he became a pre-Jack Knight Starman villain. Blue Devil. Okay, Blue Devil is where he started. That's Bolt. Let's try some Voyager. The card here. Thanks, Bolt. I thought I had more of these. I think I don't. Oh, I had a Sinestro one I could have shared. Maybe next time. All right, Bolt. Where will we go today? This has come up in a couple rounds. Look at the synchronicity of the ideas and how the springboard and the questions all come together. I feel like the last couple of rounds I've discussed Tuvok on board the Excelsior and the episode Flashback. So he served under Sulu. Look at the themes come up. You do enough questions. And I did this with regular trivia as well. My wife and I used to sit and do some trivia every night. And then we'd watch Jeopardy. And I'm like, well, this question came up in the 40-year-old Trivial Pursuit cards and so on and so forth. So that's how the universe works, I suppose. So yes, Tuvok served under Sulu. Once again, a shout out to Grace Lee Whitney, also in that episode, Flashback. I'm not going to turn the card over. We'll catch it at the end here. Oh, Species 8472, my favorite species from Fluidic Space. I really geeked out about 8472. And this is another shout out to my old college roommate Brad, who witnessed my initial geek out at the time in like 1998 when Species 8472 came back onto Voyager, and I yelled, Species 8472, and he's never gotten over it. So I'll have to remind him. He could be the one viewer to watch this. I loved Species 8472, and I understand that it'll be difficult to remaster these Voyagers on Blu-ray where they belong, because you did so much CGI, but to see Species 8472 again, that'd be awesome. Again, this goes with 7 of 9's introduction into Voyager. Yeah, can't go wrong with Species 847. I'm sure they had a name eventually. Yeah, it was in the episode where they I have to look this up, where they recreate Starfleet Academy for some reason, so they can understand humans. I don't know if that quite landed. It might have been an excuse to bring Boothie back, because you can't let that. There's more blood to get out of that turnip. I was going to do something about sleeping something's lie. I don't remember the analogy, but yeah, Fluidic Space. They come from a different part of space that's all fluid. Fluidic space. A lot of swimming going on in Fluidic Space. That one's for you, Brad. 8472. I'll mark it. I'll let you know when I post it. "29th century agency that protected the timeline." Oh, this is a tricky one. It's not the Department of Temporal Investigations, is it? Because that's a 24th century deal. I feel bad that I don't know. Is it? I wanted to say Time Police. Wouldn't that be a great answer? That's not quite correct. So I can't give you a real answer on this. I'm sure this comes. Captain Bryceman was the name though of the temporal, the temporal agent. See, that's again. This is every time the Voyager card comes up, I talk about the Ed Begley episode, and I forget Sarah Silverman, also in that episode from '95. It was a pre-7 of 9 episode because that's where the Doctor gets its mobile emitter and all that fun stuff. Wish I could remember the name of the episode. I don't have my Voyager companion behind me, so I'm not going to go look. But I don't know what they were called. Temporal agents, Captain Bryceman. That was a tough one to follow because he becomes a... Nah, it's some of it's off-putting. He becomes homeless. I don't know what they were playing up on that and running around with a shopping cart. I think that's kind of crass now that I'm considering what I remember of that episode now. But anywho, that's what we have going on with that. This one deserves a flip because I don't know what their names were. And once again, I need to give a shout out to Christopher L. Bennett's Star Trek novels. All of them are great, but a lot of fun are the... What are you doing? I promised I'd turn this around. See how I did. Fluidic space. Yeah. Temporal Integrity Commission. Okay. I'm not going to argue with that. That's fine. I don't remember that, but sounds good. So that's a wrong one for me. What's the name of that episode? Does it have the word time in it? I bet it has the word time in it. Because, you know, it's not the Krenim. It's not the Year of Hell stuff. The Krenim episodes were something else. And also those Herosian episodes where they take over the holodeck and they make the holodeck like half the ship and they end up butchering all the crew. And it's kind of brutal. This one's kind of a poser. I had to think about it because I'm like, why is a Klingon question in Voyager? But again, is this like we did 7 seasons of Voyager, right? Why are we stuck on Flashback and like all these cards? So again, we're in the episode Flashback, and it's Sulu and the Excelsior set in the time frame of Star Trek 6. And Sulu's doing his own thing, getting back from the deep beta quadrant back to wherever Kirk's at. Are we outside of Ruapente or the Kronos or whatever's going on, wherever this conference is? Oh, the conference was at Camp Kittimer. So this is becoming a Star Trek 6 question as well. That's why Flashback is the episode. We also revisit Ruapente. We don't really revisit it. We pre-visit Ruapente in an Enterprise episode as well. Don't remember the name of that either. But Kang, Michael, last name starts with A, and I'm gonna butcher it, so I'm gonna put his name in the chapter here and give him a shout out. Apologies. The late great Kang, also featured and Buck Rogers as Kang. Was he? He wasn't. He was Kane. He was Kane and Buck Rogers. Wonderful. So yeah, he shows up as Kang from the original series Day of the Dove, which deserves a dive certainly. He shows up in this episode. Maybe they'll give the actor's full name so I can try to sound it out, but I can see that it's not going to be the case. Kang. Kang also shows up in the DS9 episode with Kor and Koloth. Kor is John Colicos, also of Galactica fame as the original Baltar. And of course, Koloth was the actor whose name escaped, Bill William Campbell, Also played the Squire of Gothos. Played Koloth in Trouble with Tribbles. What was the function of the Astrometrics Lab? This became Seven's hangout. So the Astrometrics Lab was to chart the galaxy, to see if we can find a passage through the Herosian conduits or look for Borg transwarp signatures. And that's what astrometrics was. It was like another version of stellar cartography, I suppose. Is that a satisfactory? Sorry, I have to stretch. Is that a satisfactory way to explain astrometrics lab? And we first see the astrometrics lab in the Year from Hell episode, right, with the Krenim? I think that's when it's introduced. I think I know more about Voyager than I thought. It's been a while since I'm starting to watch it again. You know, boom, stellar cartography. Oh, that's the answer. I gave. Okay. I said astrometrics was basically stellar cartography, and that is the answer that the card finds satisfactory. Okay. Here I'm explaining what stellar cartography might do, or what it might mean, or what they might find. But that is the function of the Astrometrics Lab. Why they couldn't just call it stellar cartography, I do not know, and I cannot say. Ooh, I don't know this episode's name either. But this is where there were too many future versions of Voyager. We have the last episode of Voyager. Was it In-Game? Is that what they called it? The original In-Game? But this one was, is Chakotay still alive? And Chakotay and the Doctor beamed down to an ice planet where Voyager ended up. Oh yeah, because Chakotay was on a shuttlecraft trying to guide Voyager to this conduit, and then Voyager. It's kind of like the Rainbow Bridge to Ragnarok, and Voyager takes another dive and smashes into a planet, and Chakotay keeps going along and finds his way to Earth with the Doctor. Oh, with Harry. It's Harry and Chakotay, and they're trying to mess with the past, their futures, trying to change. They're in an alternate their future. They're going back to the past to change their history so that they could disappear. So it's Harry and Chakotay, the future versions of them, trying to go back and fix up where Voyager went wrong, and this kind of either this Rainbow Bridge, slipstream, whatever they were devising to get to Earth a little quicker. And to do that, they need something from Seven of Nine and her ocular implant, and hilarity ensues. Yeah, that's what's going on. But in that episode, as I am reminded about what's going on in this card, Captain LaForge commands a Galaxy-class ship, and I have no idea what it's called. I do not know the name of the Galaxy-class ship. Just another reason. Now, I don't ever see Geordi being a captain. The guy's an engineer, and he's it's just like Scotty. Scotty didn't want to be a captain. I don't quite see that in Geordi, but you know, these people aren't real, so you know that's how it goes. Let's call it it's not the Crazy Horse. I feel like it should have a native name. I don't know why. Crazy Horse showed up in some Next Gen episode, and that's always been the critique about Federation ships. They have a very U.S. or UK centric names for you know, frigates and ships and all. It's a legitimate. The Shinjan tries to fix that. We do have a few names, but not all Vulcan ships can be called Diplanahoth. Okay, let's keep that down. That's a Kurt Thatcher reference. I still need to do an episode in appreciation of the great Kirk Thatcher. That's on my list. So no, I don't know the name of this ship. This is the last question of the card. So let us be revealed. And oh, the Challenger. Okay, all right, that's cool. It's time for me to go. Someone's walking above me. But luckily I was done. So those are, that's not a bad Voyager card. Maybe soon we'll find a Voyager card that makes no reference to the episode Flashback. It's going to happen, You see. You will see. Someone will see. So, this has been a good day. You have a day as well, and keep in mind that a day like this will never come again until tomorrow. I'm not done giving up on that as how I end the show. I think I should.